Hello everyone, Mike Palmer from the Know Your Rights Group and Success Coaching International here again with another important update. Tonight we're going to be talking about some real strategies to put some actual money in your pocket. It has been truly, honestly heartbreaking to see the insane queues, the huge lines outside of Centrelink offices over the past few days. People have been queuing since before dawn, only to find that their local office is closed, it's not opening up, or there's too many people in the line. They're getting ushered along, told they can't go in. Those that do eventually get in there are finding that they've got to jump through all these hoops, go through all these applications, and at best they're getting a tiny amount of money. We've heard of other people who have, they've lost their jobs, but because they've got lots of assets, they're being means tested and they're being told no, they can't get any assistance because they got assets, which of course doesn't help them in the slightest right now because they've got no cash flow and they can't sell any of their assets because nobody's buying anything. Other people who, they've lost their job, but their partner hasn't lost their job. So the partner's still got income and they go, well, you've still got an income coming in, so you don't need any assistance. But of course, they've been relying on two incomes for whatever reason, and now they're down to just one. And again, the whole issue is that these people who really desperately need help aren't being helped. Now, I'm not going to sit here and make any comments about whether or not people should have perhaps not been as greedy as they might have been, maybe shouldn't have stretched themselves as far as they have done, or maybe should have kept a little bit in reserve or prepared for a few things, things like that. I'm not here to judge anybody. I've been there and I've done it myself, so I totally understand. We're here to help people, and that's what it's all about. And we want to put some real money right back into your pockets. So don't sit there standing in the center link line for hours on end to get absolutely nowhere. Let's get you some money right back in your pockets. Now, I've done about 24 of these new 15-minute one-on-one coaching calls over the last 2 days, and we've found that we've actually on average been able to put even more than $1,000 straight back into people's pockets, which has just been absolutely fantastic. There's one guy, we probably put quite a few $1,000 straight back into his pockets, so he was very, very grateful. And again, I want to make it clear, it's not just $1,000 now, okay? It's $1,000 each and every month that this whole coronavirus scare, plays out and continues for. So please do be aware of that. Now, the other important thing to note is that, look, the $1,000 is great, and I know a lot of people, really need that money, and we're certainly there to help them get that. But for me personally, as a success coach, what means even more to me is the relief, the heartfelt expressions of relief that people have, said to me once I've explained the strategy to them, and they're just like, oh, that just takes a huge weight off my shoulders. Like, thank God you guys are here doing this. And that's the stuff that's just really hard to explain in words and get across to you. I had one lady I spoke to, she was almost in tears as we were going through the conversation. Another lady, their whole family had all lost their jobs in the last week, and they were, honestly, seriously stressing about getting evicted. And I'm like, listen, no one's going to get evicted. This is the strategy. This is what you need to do. And, step by step we went through it, and she's just like, oh. So, that's what I really want to get across to people. That's, really the true value of these strategies. Now, obviously, look, I need to put food on my table. I need to look after my family as well. So, I need to charge something for these services. It is my time. It is my time that goes into the phone calls. It's my time that goes into creating the letters and writing them for you and sending them off to you. But, $50, it's really just a token gesture to put that $1,000 or so back into your pocket straight away, and then each and every month thereafter. So please, if you haven't yet booked in for one of those one-on-one sessions, just jump onto the knowyourrightsgroup.com.au website and then just /products, or go to our shop page. You'll see it right on the top there. Now, please, please, please make sure if and when you book one of these sessions, send me your phone number. I can't give you a one-on-one coaching call if you don't send me your phone number. Okay, there's a couple of people that still haven't actually sent through their phone numbers from these calls, which obviously makes it impossible for me to follow up. So please make sure you send that through. Now, I want to just quickly read out an article. It just came across my desk at about 6 o'clock tonight. So it's literally hot off the press. This is on 9MSN. You can go and see it yourselves. And it says here, coronavirus pandemic. What happens if I can't pay my rent? Australians who rent their property are eagerly awaiting news from the federal government regarding a safety barrier in the wake of the coronavirus crisis. As of 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time today, the Prime Minister and the National Cabinet had made no decision regarding measures to protect renters who may lose their jobs as a result of government restrictions, which has wiped out entire industries. Tenancy law is governed by individual states and territories, and as such may differ across the country. It's expected the National Cabinet may announce easing measures such as temporarily banning evictions or freezing rent payments as early as Friday. This afternoon, the Property Investors Council of Australia called on the government to bring in both rental relief measures and to ban evictions for renters hit by financial hardship. Now, they have been talking about this for a week and a half now. They haven't done anything. So we're on the front line. We are being proactive. We've taken the bull by the horns. We've got a strategy to help you. If you're renting, if you're paying a mortgage, especially we found an offshoot that we weren't even expecting, but small businesses who are paying rent, who are leasing, shop fronts and warehouses and things like that. If you've been hit, please book in one of those sessions and we will look after you. We'll get that real money back in your pockets straight away. All right, so the next thing that I want to cover is it's great that we're able to help these people put real money back in their pockets, but then we've got other people turning around just throwing it away unnecessarily. And it's like, guys, girls, what are you doing? Okay, people are freaking out about paying their electricity bill, paying their phone bill. Stop worrying about these things. As long as you make a small token gesture, some kind of meaningful payment, they are not going to cut off your service. Okay, the government, the courts would tear them an absolute new one. Okay, so don't freak out, don't stress. I know this is difficult times. I know people are panicking. Again, people are going from $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a month to zero like overnight. So we understand that's very stressful, but don't panic about these things. If you've got a looming phone bill, if you've got a looming electricity bill or water bill or gas bill or anything like that, don't freak out. Just make some kind of payment. There's no need to jump through all their hoops and ring them up and apply and ask and beg, and you don't need to do that. Okay, you just make some kind of meaningful payment, a good faith payment, whatever you can make. Then once you've done that, take a breath, relax, let that weight off your shoulders. Then when you're ready, then you can go through the process of, requesting hardship payments and things like that down the track. Okay, but we want to ease people's minds right now. People are panicking, people are scared, people are freaking out. Okay, we want everyone to remain calm. And so we want to give them these strategies just to help take that burden off. So any of those bills, just make a token payment. Don't just make it 50 cents, make it something meaningful to show that you're genuinely, making an effort. No one's going to cut off your service or anything like that. Okay, so take it easy with regards to that. Now, again, in regards to making payments, nobody out there should be making any payments on any credit cards or personal loans. Okay, those unsecured loans can be very easily challenged. Now, I showed everyone on our last video. This is the Bank Secrets Revealed book. They have a step-by-step, a 4-step process. It's tried, tested, and proven to work. Okay, you can very easily challenge any unjust and unlawful personal loan, unsecured loan, credit card, anything like that. Okay, jump on their website. I'll try and put a link in the video below, but I know it gets shared around a lot, so the link may not come through. So it's just banksecretsrevealed.com.au. Okay, have a read through that book. Have a look at all the testimonials on their website. Right now, this is again going to put real money back in your pocket. Okay, it's going to again give people that relief, that that freedom, that I don't have to freak out about paying the credit card this month. I don't have to freak out about paying that personal loan payment. Okay, no one should be doing that. So grab that Bank Secrets book if you haven't already got it, and they're sent out by express post, so they'll be sent out to you straight away. You'll get them first thing next week, and you can start reading them. Now, a couple of people asked about the other books that I mentioned the other day. So again, super quickly, that's the Aussie Speeding Fines book. Again, they've got the step-by-step process for challenging any and all unjust and unlawful traffic fines. Speeding fines, red light camera fines, talking on a mobile phone, whatever it is. People have used them for not wearing a helmet on a bicycle, for not having the right ticket on a train, yeah, all kinds of fines. You can use the information in this book. And as I said on the other video update that I did, the beauty is that now with the courts closing down, with the personnel and staff in like the SDRO and Fines Victoria and all of that, all working from home and leaving the office, it's going to be very, very simple for you to drag your fines out for beyond 12 months. Now, once they go beyond 12 months, they've exceeded the statute of limitations. They can't pursue them anymore. Okay, so grab a copy of that book. And of course, the one that we recommend is the Know Your Rights book. And as it says there, it's the essential step-by-step manual for understanding and exercising your rights. So everything on these mandatory vaccination laws, something that a lot of people are getting concerned about, and rightly so. Rates, taxes, the ATO, banks, fines, there's a chapter on each of those things there. And as I said the other day, all right, there's going to be a lot of people spending a lot of extra time at home over the next couple of weeks. The lockdown's inevitable. So grab a copy of these books now while you can. So Know Your Rights book, you can obviously find on our website, knowyourrightsgroup.com.au, and then just click on the ebook tab. And the Aussie Speeding Fines one, if I didn't mention it, just aussiespeedingfines.com. There's no AU on the end, and you'll find the ebook or ebook membership tab or something like that on their website, and you can secure that there. All right. Now, talking about banks as we were before, people keep saying, oh, Mike, why do I need to get my money out of the bank? I don't understand. So I'm going to give the example that I've been giving people for years. Okay, if you owe the bank $1 million and you can't pay, well, you've got a problem. If you owe the bank $1 billion and you can't pay, then the bank's got a problem. Now, let's adapt that to the scenario now. Okay, if one person can't pay their mortgage, for example, that one person is going to have a problem. If 1 million people can't pay their mortgage, the banks are going to have a problem. And that is exactly what's happening right now. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, and possibly even up to 1 million people are looking at either significantly having their hours reduced or being out of work completely. So when that many people stop paying their mortgage payments, okay, the banks are going to have a major issue. They can't just repossess all the homes and sell them. There's no one with any money to sell them to, okay? And there's no courts that are open to order the repossession orders, okay? So these things are not going to happen, but the banks are going to have a massive cash flow problem. Okay. Now we've already heard stories. Our friends across the ditch in New Zealand, because we know a lot of you are watching these video updates. We've heard different stories. Some are saying that the banks are closing completely. Others are saying no, they're just closing some branches, and other branches are going on to very limited hours. They're only going to be open for like an hour a day, and it's primarily for the elderly who still use cash to go in. Now, if that's going on just across the ditch, you can rest assured it's going to come here, in Australia in just a day or two's time. I reported on one of the other videos that the lady who went in and closed down her term deposit, but they said to her, listen, this branch is closing down, so you're going to have to go to one of the other ones. So that's happening right now. Branches are closing down. Now, when all the branches are closed or they're only open for limited hours and you can't get to them during those hours, how are you going to get cash out? The only cash you're going to have available to you is that $1,000 that you're allowed to take out of the ATM. Okay, now when the internet goes down, and again, it is all but inevitable that it's going to go down in some form to some degree, whether it's just bandwidth restriction, whether it's just a restriction on streaming services, or whether it's just a full blackout of the internet. We don't know. We don't have a crystal ball. No one can tell. But there's almost certainly going to be some kind of bandwidth restrictions. There's going to be some kind of outages with the internet, and that means all those tap and go systems just simply won't work. Okay, so if you've got no cash and you need to get to the supermarket and you need to get to supplies, the only way you're going to be able to do it is with cash. So I would urge you that, absolute bare minimum, make sure you've got a few grand in cash tucked away. And for anyone who's got more than that in term deposits or something, as I've said, those bail-in laws are sitting there. They're ready to be enacted. I explained on Tuesday night's show that the NAB has already enacted the bail-in laws with respect to hybrid securities. You can go and look up the article. Okay, those bail-in laws are happening right now. Your money is not safe. And as I've said 1,000,000 times before over the last 12 months to people, if you take it out and it's all just a storm in a teacup and nothing happens, then you just walk back in 3 months and put it back in. no problem. But if something does happen, if things continue getting worse very, very rapidly as they are right now, you're going to thank me for pushing you to take this out and have yourself covered. So please consider tomorrow's Friday. It's going to be the last day for most banks that you're going to be able to go in and get any significant amounts of cash out. So I urge you all to do that. All right, I'm just looking at my notes here. What else I've got to share with you? Oh yes, now this is a great strategy that one of our members shared with us today, which was fantastic. And they had a whole bunch of frequent flyer points racked up, and obviously no one's going to be going anywhere for some while now. So I know a lot of you've got different frequent flyer points with different programs racked up, and from what I understand, on a lot of those programs, you're able to transfer or swap those points out for vouchers, so for either Coles vouchers or Woolworths vouchers, things like that. So you can turn those, essentially useless frequent flyer points into actual usable supermarket vouchers. So again, I know a lot of you are really struggling right now. This is another strategy whereby you can convert those points into vouchers. You can go and put food on the table for your family. Now, if you're one of the more fortunate ones, we know there's a lot of well-to-do people out there. They've got a lot of money, which is great, which is nice for them. But they've also got like millions and millions of frequent flyer points. So again, most of those people don't use them for their flights anyway. So they're just sitting there accumulating for nothing. So why not transfer those points into vouchers and send those vouchers out to the needy? Drop them off to the elderly. Drop them off to family and friends that who are really desperate for those things. These are some of the ways that we can not only start helping ourselves but helping others in our community as well. And that really is what this is all about. This is what Aussies are all about. In a crisis, they stand strong, they fight hard, and they look out for each other. What we saw a few weeks ago is, as ScoMo said, it's very un-Australian. And thankfully that seems to have stopped to some degree. And now what we want to get back to is that real community spirit that Aussies are known for, and helping each other out. And that's why I'm still doing these videos as often as I can. And we urge everyone to do whatever they can to help their community as well. All right, now the final thing that I want to just remind everyone that the full lockdown is very close. We're not far away. The business shutdowns are only a day or two away, and then the full lockdown is coming shortly after that. Now, what's quite worrying is I've heard quite a few reports about the military being mobilised. Now, once they start mobilising the military, that really take things to another level. So really give some thought to where you want to be locked down. Are you happy just in your little apartment? Are you comfortable there?